Hello, I'm Alex. Welcome to part 2 of this How to Play Dropzone Commander series. In the last video we went over a very brief top-down view of the game and its factions. In this one we're going to talk about what battle groups are, how they work, and how army composition works. Dropzone is a game of alternating activations. For those not familiar, that means that one player activates a group of units called a battle group. They do all of that battle group's actions, so all of their moving, all of their shooting, then it gets passed to the other player and they activate a battle group. This goes back and forth throughout the round until both players have activated all the battle groups they have, at which point the round ends. A battle group is a collection of squads, what other wargames would usually call units, and within that squad there are multiple units, individual models. This does take some getting used to, but to go through that again, any mention of a unit refers to a single model, any mention of a squad refers to a collection of models working together. When a battle group is activated, each squad in the battle group is then in turn activated one at a time. Each squad will then be able to do 2 actions in an order of their choosing, which are almost always going to be moving and shooting. For example, I've got an armour battle group here, made up of a squad of 3 saber tanks, another squad of 2 Gladius heavy tanks, and finally a squad made up of a single broadsword super heavy tank. When it's my turn to pick a battle group, I declare that I am activating this armour battle group. I then, in an order of my choosing, activate those squads. So, I start with my sabres, moving every model in the squad and then shooting with them as a shoot action. I then do the same with my Gladii, choosing to shoot with them and then move instead. Finally, I activate my broadsword. I choose not to move, but I can only do each action once per activation. I can't shoot twice, so I just shoot with it and don't move. A big part of Dropzone is the transports. Most ground units are really quite slow, so they do need aircraft to get them into position. We'll cover embarking and disembarking in a later video. For now, the main thing to understand is that auxiliary units, which are mainly transports but can also include interceptors and a few other choices, can activate with any battle group if they're empty, but they must activate with a battle group of any units they're carrying. So, another example, here is my frontline battle group, which is consisting of a squad of 3 Legionnaire units, so again that's 3 models forming one squad, and a squad of 2 Spec Ops units. The Legionnaires are currently embarked in a Vulture troopship, so when I activate this battle group, the Vulture must activate with it. It can then move and shoot like any other squad in the battle group. The Spec Ops aren't in a transport and activate normally. The Raven troopship nearby is currently empty, so I could activate it with this battle group if I wish, but I don't have to. Every unit in the game will be one of 9 specific unit types: Commander, Standard, Heavy, Troop, Exotic, Support, Scout, Behemoth, or Auxiliary. The unit's type is shown in the top left-hand corner of its stat cards and is also shown clearly on the army builder when you are creating your roster. We'll go through the stat cards in another video. When you build your roster, you compose it of a number of battle groups, as we said. Each battle group type will require and will allow certain types of units. So, for example, an armour battle group requires 1 to 3 squads of standard units, usually your main battle tanks. It then allows you to take 0 to 2 heavy and 0 to 2 support choices, and as many auxiliary choices as you like. Depending on how many points you're playing, you'll have certain minimums and maximums for battle group choices. At 1750 points, you're allowed 1 HQ, 1 to 2 armour, 1 to 2 front line, 0 to 2 vanguard, and 0 to 2 war engine battle groups. The Dropzone Army Builder at dropzonecommander.com is quite good for this. It will make sure you don't have too many of each battle group type, and it will throw an error out if you try to put too many of a particular unit type in that battle group. If you try to have, say, 3 heavy choices in an armor battle group, it'll let you do it, but it will show an error saying you're not allowed to do that. As we said, you can have as many auxiliaries as you like, and they can be attached to any battle group at the start of the game, but auxiliary transports, so anything with a transport capacity, which we'll go over again in a future video, have to start the game at least half full, so you couldn't just choose to bring nothing but empty dropships for some reason. So that covers in broad strokes how activations and battlegroups work and how armies are put together from those battlegroups. In the next video we're going to talk about how to read a stat card for a unit. We'll go through each bit one at a time, so stay tuned for that.